All right, welcome. Let everybody get set. Let me get set. Okay. Hi, Zach. Welcome. Let me get things. Ooh. Okay, Tangi, I see you. So when I get to our 8 to 10 minute mark, I'm going to bring you in on the conversation. Where the tacos at, Zach? For Cinco de Mayo. You funny. It is. I saw tacos. Yes. All right, let me come on my Facebook Live. And then we'll get started. Ooh, the Met Gala is the talk of the talk. Let's go live here. Perfect. All right. Okay, I am live on both platforms. Let's do it like that. Yep, there we go. All right. We are back. Tuesday's Talks with Essay. That's me, your favorite founder and publisher, the most positive publication out there. Holla at your girl. And this week on Tuesday's Talks, this is episode 3. Just to let y'all know, it was such a struggle to try to bring this back. It was such a struggle. I didn't know if I wanted to. Hold on, let me bring y'all up here. I didn't know if I wanted to. Nope, it's better down here. Just because everything that's going on, I wanted to do something bigger, more extravagant, but why not come back to where it originally started and doing these Instagram lives and having these real conversations. So that's where we are today, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. Today's topic is money, funding, and the real conversation. So I'm really excited about this week's episode. Oh, and did I forget to do one thing? Yes. Hold on, y'all. Let me get it together. So what's going on with Inspire? Just recently, first of all, month of May, we're already halfway through the year. We're still covering events. Last week, we covered Nas at the casino out in Queens. Thank you so much to Giovanna for her connects and always knowing that Inspire is about that positivity and community and always putting us in the right room. So always thank you for that. Very excited. Gonna see Is God Is this week. If y'all don't know, you better know. Make sure y'all check that out. Is God Is. Amazing. Kara Young, she's in it and she's gonna blow your minds away. I ain't seen it yet, but I already know because I've watched this young lady's work and she's amazing. What else we got going on for Inspire? Tuesday's Talks. Outside of that, make sure that y'all come to the website, www.inspiremag.com. Make sure that you subscribe to our newsletter where you'll get our dosage of weekly content, things that we publish. Oh my God, it's always something. Of our weekly articles and things that's going on. So that way you don't got to wait till Tuesday to know what's going on with Inspire, and it's a lot more detail. So that's what's been going on with us. And a couple of new things going on. I want to also let everybody know, if you know any educational institutions, middle schools or high schools that's looking to create a media program in their building, in their institution, that's what I'm looking to do. So I'm reaching out to those who have any contacts in local libraries, Bronx, I want to say Brooklyn, and I want to say Queens. See how I said Brooklyn? All the kids need the help. So if you know anybody who's involved in, bringing programs to their school, be sure to, email us, give us some contact information at inspiremagazine@gmail.com. So with that being said, we're going to go through a couple of housekeeping details. Make sure that you share this with someone that you know needs some, context on money funding regarding entrepreneurship, being a creative. It's always a money conversation that we have to keep our brands and these creations that come over our head. We have to keep them alive. So that's where today's conversation is going to be going. I have an amazing guest who will be on. I got about another minute. Tangi Miller. Tangi Miller is a multifaceted entertainment professional with over 3 decades of experience in film, television, and theater. As an actress, she's most known for her role of Elena Tyler on the Emmy Award-winning television drama Felicity. I know y'all remember that. Besides that, she has demonstrated excellence in both front and behind the camera, with a proven track record of bringing compelling and meaningful stories to life. So very excited to bring Tangi on so we could talk about money, funding, and the real conversation. And let me bring her on now. Very excited for this. And of course, hold on, let me bring you in. Invite sent. I hope I did that correctly.
Hello.
Awesome.
Oh, how are you?
Oh, welcome,
You.
Tangi.
How are
Wonderful
you?
to have you.
It's good to be here. Thank you for your introduction.
Thank you. So listen, first and foremost, we all got these busy schedules. So for you
Yes.
to be able to have this time to sit down with me for Inspire, it's amazing. I mean, you definitely are one of those type of people that we gotta listen because you've been in the industry, you know what it is, you know what's going on, and it's just about having real perspective. So thank you so much for your time, and everybody who's joining in, thank you so much for coming on to Inspire Network, also known as Inspire Magazine, where we do nothing but tell the positive stories of others, so that way we can encourage and enlighten others. So, Tangi, we're going to get right into it with our money funding and the real conversation.
Okay.
So you've had a long career across film, television, and production. What's one thing about money in this industry that people don't talk enough about?
Um, I guess how to get it and what makes people invest in you because they are investing in you. They need to believe in you. But first, I think you need to believe in yourself. You can't expect anyone to invest in you if you won't invest in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I think filmmakers will do better when they can say, "Hey, I put this much in. I've got this much skin in the game." I would start there. I did because people get excited when they
Mm-hmm.
believe that you are also invested, and just be honest with people because and I guess that's more than one. There's so many things, but I mean, you have to be honest. If you don't know and you haven't done, you have to think about it. It's just like any other business. A person is not going to easily invest if they don't know that you know what you're doing. And I think you start with telling them the truth and you start with investing with yourself. So I guess I would say first, I would say invest in yourself. And secondly, be honest because a person has to trust that you are going to deliver. And even
Mm-hmm.
if you haven't done that before, you're better off convincing me or anyone if they can trust what you say and just keep people every step of the way. And I've been blessed not to lose anybody's money. Once you get a track record, it's a lot easier because they know how you do, they know how you perform, and things happen. I've had things
Mm-hmm.
happen to me. I mean, we shot a film which I think is beautiful, and distributors are like, okay, we need another few minutes, to be able to cross different genres and different platforms. And I was like, okay, so we had to shoot. I was like, okay, we're going to be a month or so behind before we can actually deliver it to someone. So that's going to push everything another month or so out. You
Mm-hmm.
got to keep people informed. I feel like a lot of times because we're artists, we want people to just let us do our art.
Yep.
Um, and that's great. And if you're that kind of person, then you need to partner also with a business person because you have to still think like a business person. If you can't make sense of it, if you cannot make sense of it and you've never done it before, you've got to get with someone who can make sense of it
Mm-hmm.
because you're asking people to invest. Unless you have like a friend or a family member that's like, okay, I'm just going to let this person do what they want to do and let them feel it out. That's great. But most people don't have that. Most people are like, this is hard earned money. And that's how I look at it. I look at it like it's my money. Well, it has
Exactly.
been my money, but I look, you have to spend it and act like it's your money, because it really is your money. And when you ruin it for an investor, you ruin it for all the other artists that are coming behind you trying to get that investor to invest. So, at least you can be honest with them and protect the money. Don't look like, oh God, I want this. They can give me more money. I know they have it. Don't do that. If you tell a
Mm-hmm.
person something's gonna be done for $200,000, you need to get it done for 190, 175. So when you have problems, you've got a little cushion to deal with it, so that you
Makes
can
sense.
deliver. What you said you can do, and you have to think like that about everything. So I would say start with yourself and be honest, and then obviously partner with people, that know.
No, I mean, the first thing that really made sense was invest in yourself.
Yes.
Outside of in film, like as a creator, like you said, if I'm not passionate about what I'm doing with my brand or what I'm creating out my mind, why would I think other people are going to believe me?
If you're not willing
Um,
to put any money in and you just want to go find the money, that
yes.
speaks volumes too.
And that's the thing I think some people don't understand. When we say invest in ourselves, we don't mean, put in the time and pray and wish. That also means dollars too.
Not just go to the gym, put the package together. That means, yeah, save up. If it's really
Yep.
important to you, you want it, you're going to go get it like
No,
you
you
would.
definitely will do it. So I think that's the most important thing. One is understanding that, and two is also like any business. So if you go to this fast food restaurant, you see something on the menu, and you order something on the menu, and you give somebody your money, and you don't get what you saw on the menu, aren't you? You're gonna have a problem. So
Right.
I get confused at how we don't translate that in business, and again, you know, I've been in the industry, in media industry for quite some time, and knowing what it takes to get ad dollars and getting these type of funding, it comes to a point. Stop acting like you cutting corners. Like, be honest, be authentic. Don't make somebody feel as if they can do you the no. No one has to give you any money to do anything, so you
I
should
think
act
it's because we're
accordingly.
doing our art, and we feel we deserve to be doing our art, but it's
Hmm.
still business, and that is all true. That is all true, but it is still business. And when you get to the point of collecting money and getting people to invest their hard-earned money into you as opposed to something else where it's more black and white and they can do it, they're going to want to understand. And you have to
Hmm.
be upfront. And it's okay not to know, because if they can trust, because things could happen. I mean, it could all go left or whatever. But you have to walk them through it, and then, okay,
Hmm.
that person really tried. They did everything at every juncture. They made the right decision or the best decision they could with what they saw, and they can still believe in you, and they will give it a shot. But
Hmm.
you want to do the best you can, and you want to talk and interview. I mean, you have to think about, this is really, really someone's money, and if you think about it like that, you're not going to spend it any kind of way.
Right.
You're going to do all the research and talk to other people that may have had those pitfalls, and you need to do that research in your pre-production, your pre-production. You
Hmm.
should be doing that research, and it's good to partner with people who have done it. You know.
That's another point I forgot to actually highlight within you answering that question, because we all don't have all levels of experience that it may take to make that dream happen. So as a creative, sometimes you just got to focus on where your creative lane takes you and allow somebody else who has that experience, who has that passion to do that specific role, and allow them to do it. And I find that that's one of the things that I've made that mistake early on, where I was like, all
And you
right,
would do that with any other business. I mean, you would
hmm
not open up any other business without doing the research and finding people that you're not going to go, I'm just going to go for it, without laying it out of how you're going to get it and what you don't know, finding someone to help you understand that. You
hmm
wouldn't do it. So you have to still think about it. And I think we get caught up in the creative, which is great. That's why you have to have also a producer. And if you're not a producer creator, that's okay. You need to get with a producer who is a producer.
No, just know your roles and know who's gonna
Right,
get
right,
it
right.
done.
And know where you are with it. Know who you are.
Yes. I think that's so important. And again, this does apply to film, but the concept applies to every
Oh,
industry as a
exactly.
creative. I just want all of y'all to know that. My next question, what advice would you give to creatives who are passionate about their work but unsure how to turn it into something financially sustainable?
Well, it all depends on what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would one start with where you are. I mean, this is an exciting time. We were talking about this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Now it is tangible. We can actually make the movie. You know, once upon a time, you needed a crane to get that shot that you can just go get a very
Mm-hmm.
inexpensive drone to get.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need 6 months anymore. You can do a movie in 6 days. I mean, you can do a short in a few days. I mean, it is so tangible. I mean, and if you had to, I did some pickup shops with my phone. Well, not with my
Yep.
phone, with my partner's phone. So I mean, you can do it now. I would say start where you are. If you can't do a movie, do a short. If you can't do a short, do a vertical. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you can start where you are, and you can partner with enough people. And if you haven't done that and you don't know how to do that, you need to work on that. Because if you're in this industry, you are not an island. You're not alone. You
Mm-hmm.
have to work with people. And I know sometimes we want to do it, but you cannot do it all alone. You need somebody else in the room, unless you're going to do a one person show or whatever.
No,
um,
I definitely
so
agree.
I would say start where you are, and find something realistic that you can do. And there's a lot of outlets where you can take your work now. And if you don't know, I'm open to coaching people and counseling people a little bit. I'm really busy, but if you
Mm-hmm.
DM me, I'll work with you.
Right.
you know.
And is that something that was available before, like all these type of resources from your experience?
It wasn't. I mean, a lot of people didn't know. I mean, when I started making movies, there just wasn't a lot of us that knew. We were trying to figure it out. But I started because I was on set with a friend, and
Mm-hmm.
and I was an actress in his movie, and he was like, well, you should produce. And I was like, well, what do producers do? And he was like, make it happen. I kind of chuckled, and I was like, well, what do you mean you make it all happen? And so
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky enough to go with him through his film to figure out how to do it, but I didn't plan on it. I mean, I was, just acting, in the film. And after that, I started taking meetings with producers and
Wow.
grilling them, and you know, doing everything I can to find out how to make this happen, and partnering up with writers and other actors and DP people that I've worked with before, and asking them, hey,
Mm-hmm.
would you do this for my film? I mean, I did what I could to put it together, and even now, you still have to do that because you have to keep creating. You have to keep creating, and things are different. We're
I
shooting in.
wonder when we talk about like budgets for projects, film projects, just for those who might be just entering in, how do you come up with, like, outside of knowing equipment and people who you'll probably have to pay, what other type of things should be considered when coming up with a budget for a film or
Research.
short?
You can. I mean, I think film festivals are an amazing place to go. And shout out to my girl. I can't think of her name right now. Jasmine Burke. She's got a film that's going to be out, and she's invited us to come out and support. Go
Mm-hmm.
and talk to other people and see what they're doing, and how long they shot, and ask questions. I mean, when you go to an independent film festival, I love the PAF, Pan African Film Festival, because that's like
Mm-hmm.
the largest black film festival in the world, like literally.
Mm-hmm.
Go, and then people are open to share and to talk to you about different things, and you're gonna probably have to have a private conversation with them about real details when you get down to the budget, because everybody wants it to look like they spent more than they actually spent.
Mm-hmm.
And we hope you see more money than they actually had. You know,
Exactly.
so but you can find out a lot, and people will share, and you will hear, in the talkbacks, a lot of the trials and tribulations, and that's
Mm-hmm.
another way to learn, if you don't want to pay someone. But I would invest again in myself and in my career and in my craft, and go sit down. I don't care if you have to take them on a lunch or whatever. Do
Yeah.
something to get to the bottom of things that you don't know.
I love that. I mean, that made so, and definitely be a part of film festivals. Definitely take, again, more investing in yourself, taking time out. Again, if you know you need, do your research and find out, when you
Do
do
your
your
research.
research, you're going to find out who you need to meet, who you need to sit down with. So
Exactly,
there
exactly.
you go. Looking at where you are now, how has your relationship with money evolved, and when you first started it today? And I'm asking that question because I want our audience to also understand, yeah, it's business, but it's kind of also personal too.
I have learned to be even more conservative. I am a conservative person when it comes to money anyway. I like
Mhm.
nice things, but I put it in perspective. I invest into real estate. That's one thing I'll say about actors. Well, I mean, you, oh, sorry about that. I've been out all day. I don't know if you
Mhm.
can hear
Mhm.
that. But you want to invest in ways to make passive income and have jobs that will allow you to be free enough so that you can
Mhm.
work and you're not so wore out. I was
Mhm.
I might have became a flight attendant because you know what, that's a ticket everywhere for a little nothing. I mean, you have to think about the different things, and I learned how to do my own makeup and hair later. Well, hair,
Mhm.
but makeup later. Master those things as you're an actor because you're going to be on red carpets and you're going to, I mean,
Mhm.
learn how to dress, learn how to pose, learn all this stuff that you don't have to pay people for. You can, like, cut down some of your expenses. I'm
Mhm.
talking as an actor, but as a producer, you need to be able to travel, understand the writing. Even if you don't write, you want to learn a little bit how to write, at least how to find stories, how to tell a story. Learn a little bit about everything so that you know it when you recognize it, because a lot of times
Mhm.
when you're independent filmmaking, you are swinging, you're doing different things. I mean,
Mhm.
I do a lot of wardrobe, I do crafts, I mean, I do whatever I got to do on my sets, and you want to know a little bit about as much stuff. So I would say start training yourself,
Mhm.
so that you're able to help yourself get through these things. Did I answer your question? Because I know I go off on the tangents.
No, you well, yes, because we're talking about how your relationship with money has evolved.
I guess, yeah. Let me get back to the respect. I have more respect for it.
Mhm.
I'm even more conservative, and I'm always prepared for something to go wrong, because something will go wrong.
Mhm.
So, that 10%, go ahead and make that 15, 20%, put it to the side. And
Right,
if you
right.
don't need it, put it in your marketing when you're done. But just pull back and try to save a little bit, because something will go wrong. You'll lose a
Mhm.
location, you'll lose a talent, you'll have to buy stuff that you didn't think you were going to have to buy. Somebody's going to hit somebody's car. I mean, just crazy stuff happens. I mean, you might need to pay somebody to be quiet, and the neighbor across the street just want to mow the lawn at the time that you want to shoot the shot. Here's $100.
Right.
$100. Let me just tell you something. Just a one clean
One clean bill will get you
makeup
so
person.
far.
Shut up. You're like, you know what? We're independent, but we don't have a whole lot of money. But if take this and kind of like, we'll mow that lawn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I
So,
mean that, and that's something I would never have thought about. But again, that's the smart
when
way
you
to
pay
think.
cash, yes. The restaurant that you thought was going to be great, you show up and it smells like a baby's diaper, and they call you, okay, you can't eat. We got to switch it up right now. Okay, so your budget for craft services was this, but now it doubled up because you got to change the restaurant right now,
Hmm.
because you got to feed people on time, because that's one thing, you don't feed people on time. They are they are hangry.
Yes,
So
don't need
there's
more
just
than one
so many
person
little things.
hangry.
Right, exactly. That's why I say, hey, meet with the filmmakers after you've seen the film. Or go to these film festivals. There's like a plethora of information, little things that you never even thought about you would learn. You know.
No, I definitely agree. And even for me, when I do cover, like if I go to a film screening or a red carpet event, and it's like, just pay attention.
Yeah.
See who's moving, who they're talking to, and engage in a small conversation with a guy. And this is networking 101.
Right.
Put yourselves in the room of the people that do what you do better,
Yes.
right? And then find your way over there
Mm-hmm.
eventually.
And if
And
you
I
sit
think,
in that room, you might come up with a question. You might not have one right when you go, but you might sit in there and go, "Wow," something will come to mind.
no, I definitely agree. And again, for our audience who's tuning in, this is Tangi Miller, and I mean, not only she's answering my questions, but she's giving me so much more to think about, and I love that because the industry is not just one way. It's there has to be a certain, especially now, you got to look at things at a certain angle, and once you have experience too, it kind of allows you to think as such. Like you wouldn't when you first started, you didn't think you were going to be having to do everything. You probably just had
No,
that
you didn't,
grind in you
and
to
you
do
hire
it.
a lot of stuff, and sometimes you do, but things happen. Like we had a person, our craft service person, had a really ill mom, and she had to help the mom. And I don't know if she passed. I hope she didn't. But she had like some real serious issues, and so you have to understand. You might have to
Mhm.
jump in and fill in where someone is. Someone gets stuck in another country, and we're about to start. You've got to cast somebody at the last minute. You might need to go pick that person up from the airport or whatever. I mean, you just don't know what you're going to need to do, and things just come up because that's just
Mhm.
how it is. You don't have the team. I try to tell people when they watch independent films, look at the credits, see how thin it is, and then look at those big budget films. I saw The Devil Wears Prada today. They've got
Mhm.
stuff, and there's just, mountains of people. When you have an independent film, it's usually a much more skeleton place. And that's because you don't get any less work. Those people
Mhm.
are swinging. They're doing 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 jobs,
Mhm. No,
to
it's the
make it.
truth.
And kudos to the crew, because we're going to keep on doing it until we can do it better and easier.
Hmm. And just a real quick now, Devil Wears Prada's been trending, and I feel like it's trending more so for the story plot because it's a little bit because I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna see
Okay.
it,
Okay.
but it
I'm
feels like it's relating to where we are in times of media and entertainment.
I thought they did a really good job dealing with, important journalism and not silencing our journalists. And I thought they,
Hmm.
they did a good job. They talked about relationships and dealing with how we relate. This is a time, once upon a time we went to high school to go to college to get married. We go to
Hmm.
college to go to high, we go to high school to go to college to go to graduate school to get a job, to work on a job, to save some money. By the time you get married, now you're later in your career. Everybody's kind of set in their ways, and then you're hustling
Hmm.
before it's too late. I mean, we're just in a different time. So we have to figure out how to deal with grown, successful people coming
Hmm.
together at an older age. And I thought that was great to see
Yeah.
that. And loyalty. I mean, it's really important to be loyal in the business because people need to be able to trust you. And that's why telling the truth, and I don't know what's happened, people just, your word should mean something.
Hmm.
When you
Welcome
say
to Your Word Is Your Bond. That's how I
your
grew
word is
up.
your bond. Please, let's get back to that because I believe that people that continue to work in the business, you can trust them,
Hmm.
for the most part. So I just think you have to be about that at least in my life, because it's just too easy to do it with other people. I would rather do it with someone that I can trust, you
No, I
know.
appreciate that. I appreciate, and then also last question. You know, you understand the importance of media and messaging, right? Now, when it comes to, either getting a publicist to share what's going on with the film, how has that experience been for you? And are you also seeing how that is might be a little bit different now?
Well, social media is free publicity, and I have to be honest, I don't love social media. I'm
Mm-hmm.
starting to respect it because when you think about it, my God, I can reach 10, 20, 30, 40,000 people a month if I just get online and
Yep.
I can talk about who I am and what I care about and what's important and share myself and share my films and share my story. It's a wonderful thing. Again, this too, it has made things tangible for independent people because it's a lot to pay a publicist, and I do believe in having a publicist and all this stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you can't afford that, so you got to do
Mm-hmm.
what you can where you can. So it is a wonderful benefit, and I think you should take advantage of every eyeball if you can. Now it's hard though, running from pillar to post trying to get everything done. I'm managing the
Mm-hmm.
section of pre-production, production, and post-production to delivery, so I've got to be in all these places. But you have to figure out a way, and those are eyeballs, that will hopefully support you
Mm-hmm.
in your
And
work.
also for us to continue to tell the story,
Mhm.
that that
Well,
that
that's
to
the
me.
last frontier. It is important that we talk about who we are the way we want to be talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is what's most important to me is to be able to tell my story and our stories in a respectable way and show the type of
Right.
men and women that I want to see or how we ought to be. So, we don't want everybody talking about who we are. That's not us.
Right.
I
Because
mean,
you
you
ain't
can,
gonna know what you're talking about.
we're going to tell our story the way we want to tell it.
Exactly. No, I definitely agree. Oh my God. So, I mean, audience don't know, but me and her could talk for hours. There's so much more stuff that we definitely are going to eventually discuss.
Yeah.
And
Happy to come
one,
back.
and then one thing I will say is the truth of the power of social media. For me, my particular story, I used to do these Instagram lives maybe like 3, 4, 5 years ago. And I just didn't want to be in front of the camera no more. You know what I mean? I just didn't like, cause this ain't me. I like to have genuine, real conversations. I don't feel like putting the camera on me and talking, but it was just like looking at everyone's like, okay, you have a platform, use all verticals that you have with that platform. There's nothing wrong with getting back and having these conversations. Cause guess what?
You're
As
reaching your
time
peak.
goes on, more eyes will keep watching and more eyes will keep watching. And that's the purpose of it. It's not just for it to stay between me and you and our current audience. It's
Right.
for it to keep going. And I think that's also a testament to what you said regarding social media. For those of you who are out there who are creatives, sometimes you just got to step out front. You just got to do what you got to
Well,
do.
let me congratulate you because it's not easy to have anything going that long and you're doing your thing. And I appreciate
Thank
that. And I
you.
respect that.
Thank you
So,
so much. It's been a journey, but I believe that God would not have put inspire in my mind if it wasn't for me to inspire others and tell stories and tell my story as well. And I think those are also the things that we figure out as time goes on in whatever lane we choose. We start feeling like I'm not leaving this. Like even you've been doing what you've been doing for quite some
I
time
know, right? Right.
because you love what you're doing, and,
I
and it,
do.
it's it's
It's
like
not
it's a
work.
warm, heartfelt feeling that even if you close your eyes, you can still see yourself doing it. And you can still do it with your eyes closed, hands tied behind your back. So I'm one of those people, and again, Tangi, thank you so much for blessing our inspired audience today. I do want you though to take a moment, let our audience know what you have currently going on, if you have any new projects going on in the future, and any other place outside your Instagram that people can follow and tune in.
Oh yes, actually, follow me on TikTok because I just started and I need some followers. But I'm excited about my film called The Handyman, which stars Reggie Gaskin. He's absolutely amazing and a lot of great people. You can see that on my Instagram as well. But we're just wrapping that up. We had to shoot a few more scenes, and we literally just completed today, and we'll be doing
Yay.
film. So I hope to be telling you where you can see that film very soon. And we're working on another film, a Christmas film, which we're in post with right now, and I can't wait to share that. That is just my heart right now. So we're fully loaded right now, and we've got some other stuff that's cooking right now as well. So stay tuned, and we'll be letting you know where to see both of those films.
Awesome. Listen, from another creative to another, this is so exciting. And of course, Inspire is going to support whatever and everything that you have going on. So we're going to make sure that this conversation doesn't start here. We're going to definitely have a follow up, and we'll continue to follow up on all your amazing projects.
Thank
And
you.
again, Tangi, thank you so much for tuning in on this Tuesday's Talks with Essay.
All right. All
And
right.
you
Thank
have a good one.
you too. Okay.
All right.
Let me see.
Yeah, we both got to figure this out. Oh my God. Again. Wow. I tell y'all, um, I feel like I get more from these interviews than I wanted for y'all than for myself. Having these type of real conversations with, people who are in the industry who've been doing what they've been doing for long and they have the experience so they can talk about it. And when you have people that have experience, pretty much what can they do? They can help you, they can elevate you, they can guide you. They can, again, put you in situations that you normally would not have known you should have been put in. So, speaking to Tangi, again, it put the light bulb up. What's wrong with doing a film project? What's wrong with doing a short? What's wrong with just doing something to get it started? And again, yes, this topic was about money, funding, and the real conversation. But the most important part was believing in yourself. Now, if you don't believe in yourself, there's no money, there's no funding, and there's no conversation. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely got to make sure that you start off believing in yourself, believing in your passion, and making sure that you just don't think that prayer and steps is all you need. You do have to financially support yourself. You do have to find ways of making things happen. That's just it is. It doesn't matter what industry that you're in. So we definitely had an amazing talk. Be sure that y'all, take this Tuesday's talks, share it with an entrepreneur, a creative friend, or somebody who is interested in getting into the industry. Because again, you're going to need money, funding, and a real conversation. This doesn't matter. And it should definitely happen in that order. So this has just been another blessed Tuesday on Tuesday's Talks with me. Be sure that y'all go to www.inspiremag.com. Make sure that you subscribe to our newsletter so that way you can get more updates and you don't got to wait till Tuesday. And again, this is your girl, Essay, founder and publisher of Inspire Magazine. And for those of you who don't know, Inspire is enlightening, newsworthy subjects providing inspiration and real entertainment. And we'll be seeing you next week, Tuesday, same time, same place. And let me see, what are we going to be talking about next week? Next week's episode 4. I'm so excited. I'm 4 episodes in, 4 episodes back. Healthcare policy and what it means for us. Us, us women, us people, us who pay taxes and don't see the healthcare tax dollars working for us. That's who the us is. So that'll definitely be a conversation that you all want to tune into next week. Now, again, be sure to share this, put any questions that you may have. Next week's topic, healthcare policy and what it means for us. Until then, peace, love, and what they used to say, hair grease. Y'all have a good one.